Apes, they're like us, but not quite. We share more than 98% of our DNA with these furry primates. So we must have evolved from them, right? Not so fast. The story of how apes became humans is long and complex, and scientists are still working to figure some of it out. Here's what we know so far. We do indeed share a common ancestor with the great apes, that is chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, orangutans, and us. But the relationship is more like a cousin thing. We all shared a common ape-like ancestor about 6 to 7 million years ago in Africa. This was an ape, not yet a human, who lived in a time when continents were drifting, the climate was changing, and the forests were filling with new plants and animals. Something happened, perhaps a virus jumping from an animal to this ape, causing a genetic mutation that would change everything. This is thought to be the event that set the hominins on their separate evolutionary path from the other apes. Hominins are the group that includes all species of the genus Homo, which is every single species of human from the aforementioned ape-like ancestor up until now. But there is no record of this event in the fossil record. The earliest undisputed hominin fossil we found is of Sahelanthropus chidensis, a species that lived about 6 to 7 million years ago in what is now Chad. The skull was discovered in 2001 and is notable for its small size and the position of the foramen magnum, or the hole where the spinal cord connects to the brain. Its forward position in the skull suggests the individual could walk upright on 2 legs, but that's about all we know. There are no confirmed fossils of this species or any others from this time period in East Africa. It's possible that the remains have simply been lost to time. Others have suggested that perhaps there was more than one hominin species at this time, and the ones we haven't found yet may have had more distinctly human features. What we do know is that hominins continued to evolve in Africa over the next several million years. We have fossils from Orang-tuganensis dating back 6 million years and Ardipithecus ramidus dating back 4.4 million. But the oldest known member of the genus Homo is only about 2.8 million years old. That would mean that there was a gap of over 1 million years between the last undisputed hominin species and the first, Homo species. But if we consider the current understanding of evolution, it doesn't make sense for one hominin lineage to disappear and then re-emerge without any evidence of what happened in between. So scientists hypothesize that this gap is actually a result of the fossil record being incomplete. Clearly something big was missing. Then in 2009, a skull and other bone fragments were found in Ethiopia and dated to 3.2 million years ago. This individual was named Ardi, and she was identified as a new species, Ardipithecus hominids. She walked upright like us, but retained ape-like features such as a long middle finger, suggesting she spent a lot of time in trees. Ardi was also mosaic, like the first hominin species we mentioned. Her pelvis and lower legs were adapted for walking on 2 feet, but her upper body and arms were more like an ape's, better suited for climbing. So based on the available evidence, here's what we think happened. Hominins split off from the other apes around 6 to 7 million years ago, but they didn't immediately become human. They were more like modern-day chimps, spending time in trees and walking on all 4s. It wasn't until much later that they started standing up straighter, eventually leading to the fully upright walking we associate with humans today. And it took another million or so years after that for the rest of our distinctly human features to evolve. Basically, think of it like we didn't just pop out of apes. We evolved from a common ancestor, but we both continued to evolve separately from that point forward. In other words, apes didn't turn into humans. Instead, humans and apes diverged along different evolutionary paths and eventually became separate species. So should we stop saying that humans evolved from apes? Well, strictly speaking, yes, we should. But honestly, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Saying that humans evolved from apes is an oversimplification, sure, but it's also an easy way to describe the incredible journey that led to our existence. And besides, apes are our closest living relatives. So maybe it's okay to call them our evolutionary hermanos. Thanks for watching this episode of C-Show, and thanks to one of our patrons for asking this question. Our patrons could submit questions to our inbox, and our editors pick out the best ones to answer in episodes like this one. Do you have a burning science question you want answered? You can submit it to our inbox or post it with the hashtag